All right, let's jump right into a question that I know is on just about every creator's mind these days. We're in this wild, amazing new era of creativity, right? But it's brought this brand new, kind of tricky challenge. How in the world do we give credit to our AI collaborators? So picture this. You've just wrapped up a project. Maybe it's an article, a killer image, or even some code. And you know an AI was a big part of your process. But then you get to that little source line at the bottom, and your fingers just hover. You kind of freeze up. What are you even supposed to write there? And hey, if you're feeling a little lost about it, you're not alone. That is totally 100% normal. This isn't some problem you failed to solve. It's a question our entire creative world is figuring out together, like right now. There's no official rule book for this stuff yet. And maybe that's the key. What if we're looking at this all wrong? Instead of hunting for one single universal rule that has to fit every single situation, what if we had a flexible tool, something that could adapt to our specific project and our specific needs? So let me introduce you to a really cool concept, the transparency dial. Just think of it like a simple knob you can turn for every single project. It's not about finding a single right or wrong answer, but about you choosing the perfect level of detail for your work and for your audience. The idea is super intuitive. When you need to be really clear and give all the details, you just turn that dial way up. And when the AI's role was pretty minor or the context just calls for something simple, you can dial it back down. The best part? You're the one in control. So what do these settings actually look like in the real world? Let's break down 3 different levels of attribution you can start using right away. Think of them as the main presets on your new dial. This chart lays it all out beautifully. So on the left, you've got the setting on our dial, high, medium, or low. In the middle column, that's the magic. It's the actual text you could copy and paste. And over on the right, you see the type of situation where each one works best. Let's dig into each one. This is the dial cranked all the way up. This is your high setting. You're being super specific here, right? You're not just mentioning the AI, but you're also pointing out other things like stock visuals. This is perfect for times when you need total transparency. Think academic work, detailed reports for a client, or honestly, anytime you just want to be crystal clear about your whole process. Now for the medium setting, honestly, this is probably going to be the go-to for a lot of us. It's just so clear, it's concise, and it's honest. It says, hey, this work is mine, it's original, while also being upfront about the AI's helping hand. It's direct, it respects your audience, and it doesn't get bogged down in too much detail. A really fantastic default choice. And finally, we have the low setting. Now, I know this one might seem a little controversial, but it definitely has its place. This is for when the AI's contribution was truly minimal. I mean, think about it like using a spell checker or a thesaurus. If the main idea, the structure, the creativity, and almost all the content came from you, and the AI was just a minor tool in the background, then this can be a totally fair choice. The human is still the clear creator. Okay, so we've got our 3 settings, high, medium, low. That's great. But the most important piece of the puzzle is knowing which one to actually choose for your project. So let's talk about the how. This is the question that puts the power right back in your hands, where it belongs. It's not about just blindly following some rules someone else made up. It's about you making a conscious, smart decision based on a few really important factors. And here are those factors right here. First, just ask yourself, who is this for? What does my audience expect? Is it a client who needs every detail or a casual blog reader? Second, what are the rules of the platform you're on? Some places are starting to create their own policies. Third, and this one is huge, what feels right to you? What aligns with your own professional integrity? And last but not least, be honest with yourself about how much the AI really did. Was it a co-pilot or was it just checking your grammar? Because you know what? No matter where you decide to set that dial, the goal underneath it all is exactly the same. It's about being clear and it's about being honest. Attribution isn't some kind of punishment. It's a tool for building and keeping the trust of the people who read, watch, or listen to your work. So let's wrap this up by zooming out a little bit. What's the big picture here? And what does this all mean for the future of making stuff? The number one thing I want you to walk away with is this. You are not powerless in this new world. You don't have to sit around waiting for someone else to hand you the rules. You now have a framework, this transparency dial, that gives you the power to make smart, confident decisions about attribution on every single thing you create. And that leaves us with a really fascinating thought to chew on. Right now, this all feels very new and super important to disclose. But think about it. We don't put assisted by Microsoft Word at the end of our emails, right? We don't cite the dictionary we used. So, will AI tools just become so normal, so baked into how we work, that citing them one day feels, well, kind of silly? What do you think the future's going to look like?